Hello, guys. Welcome back. Game 5, one of the most exciting times of the season when everything is decided. Let's see what we have until now then. As predicted, Fener, the only team that swapped their opponent, 3-0. Perhaps way more difficult than this result says. Paris was quite close in all the games, but Fener was the team that managed to really control the pace and get the games, even if they needed the overtime to clinch that win. And on the other hand, Olympiacos was the better team in the games versus Real Madrid. But again, Real perhaps had a lot of chances to do something better, but in the end of the day, these are the two teams going through. So all the focus now is on the remaining brackets. So Konstantinos, what do you see there?
First we see Monaco versus Barcelona. Barcelona came back and won both games in Spain, so now they're heading back to Monaco. I believe Monaco has the advantage, not because of the home court advantage, but because of the depth that they have as a team. So they have several options per position. For example, if Mike James, it's not his best day, then you see Okobo suddenly explode and play very well. So for that reason, I will give the upper hand to Monaco. However, keep in mind that Peñarroya has done a very good job in his first year with Barcelona. So to me, it will be Monaco in that series, and then you have Panathinaikos and Anadolu Efes. Panathinaikos managed to win Game 3 in Istanbul, but then Anadolu equaled the series 2-2. I think it's very open. To me, even though Panathinaikos has the home court advantage, is a very open series. We see Shane Larkin playing in his old mode. Amazing player to watch. Unfortunately, Efes had the injury of Poirier. That's why you see Poirier didn't have the usual games as he used to have in the first two games in Athens. He was amazing, but then suddenly he didn't get the playing time, and also the numbers was not what you expected from him, but that's due to an injury. He will play, but you see he's not that productive now. So if I have to give some of the upper hand, I will give it to Panathinaikos only because of the home court, but I think it's a very open. It will be a very open game.
And I think there are reports that potentially Lesort is going to return into action. So that would be perhaps a morale boost for the team. But yeah, I agree. So I do see the home court advantage crucial here for both of these games. So Monaco has the upper hand, Panathinaikos have the upper hand, but again, this is just one game, anything can happen. So honestly, they are very tough brackets. So having said that, let's have a look on how we did last week.
Yeah, and you see it's in round 39, we got 137.45 fantasy points, around 40, 85.2, just not even 100. The point that what it hurt us the most, let's say, was we did not gain, but we lost 2 credit in the if you combine both rounds, and also you see Poirier was not productive. Then also some other players Nan, for example, was our captain, only 4.5 fantasy points. So, with that said, you see that it was not the best both rounds that we had. Um, we had some good performances, even though, for example, you see Larkin, he's very stable, so that's why he's in both our teams. And the coaches that we select in both cases gave us 10 fantasy points, which is very, very crucial, especially in round 40. If I'm not mistaken, we had, or around 39, we had a lot of question marks about who will be our coach. But then Saras gave us 10 fantasy points, and Barzokas gave us 10 fantasy points in round 40.
That was the round 40 when we
40.
It was a tough selection. And again, this is a great point, because if you don't get the coach, then you're actually talking about 20 points or 15 points deficit. So imagine that.
Exactly. And also, what I'd like to point out is, be smart on the players you select. And what I mean on the players, I mean on the fillers, or the, let's say, in the medium scale players. For example, you see we had Balde. He gave us 12 fantasy points, which is very good for compared to his price. Also, Sergio Yul, because you see, for example, we had Tavares gave us 2 fantasy points, but Balde gave us 12. So be very, very selective on the players you have for fillers on the bench. And also, if you cannot afford, you don't have the credits to have 5, let's say, or 6 key players, select the, let's say, the role player that will have the most impact on the team.
Yeah, and I think the round 40, was the lowest round we had through the year, if I'm not mistaken. Shows how difficult are playoffs, because we had the first week great results on both of them, and then comes game 3 quite okay, and now we need to pick up. So let's see how we're getting into game 5, and let's start from the coach. So we go in with Coach Ataman. Although we think there is a chance for higher upside selecting Coach Panoulis, but we feel if a game is bound to, if let's say the home court advantage is bound to be broken, we think the chances are more that to happen in Monaco versus Panathinaikos, thinking about how important the fans are in these games. So with that in mind, we're going with perhaps a more conservative solution there, 7.9 credits with Ataman. And we are going into our guards with Nan, trying to bet on the bounce back. And we know if he bounced back like he did in game 3, he could have a monster game, at least in terms of fantasy. Even whoever watched the second half, he was, I think, amazing. Larkin, we mentioned him earlier, he's been magnificent this playoff series. And of course, James, on a game 5, we couldn't let him out of the team. As you know, we don't usually select James a lot, but game 5 for a playoff spot, we need him in the team. And we're closing guards with Brizuela, really because first of all is the credits we have available, and secondly is important and takes a lot of minutes, and if he has a good night he could produce quite a lot of points.
And since we had 3 top guards in Nan, Larkin, and James, we said why not have the 3 top forwards, and you see Jabari Parker, Juan Chorna Gomez, and Alpha Diallo are the 3 main options we have at forward. Jabari Parker has to be the scorer with Pater to give boost to Barcelona in this crucial game. Juancho, he had an amazing first game, but then he's not delivering. But now that the game 5 is back in Panathinaikos home court, we believe he will get also the boost from the crowd. He's a fan favorite, or among the fan favorites in Oaxaca, so that will give him the extra motivation to perform. And Alpha Diallo, he is also very, very crucial for Monaco. He's delivering. He had an amazing game 2 in Monaco, and now that we're talking about game 5, coach Spanoulis will need everyone performing, and Diallo is one of the players that he really wants to deliver tomorrow, so Monaco gets a W. And at the end, you see coach Papa Petro. He is a filler. He might get some playing time, not sure. He's not injured, but he might play some minutes.
Yeah, and I wanted to add about Parker that, it's the second year we see him at the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken, last year was versus Olympiacos, this year versus Monaco, and he's always there to, carry his team on the back when they need it. So if Panther can get out of his shooting slump, perhaps they could have a chance. So closing then with centers, and another player we're betting on having another big game coming back for actually mediocre week 2 is Thais with Monaco, and what he's capable of, even with Monaco team or with the national team, so you can't go really wrong with him. Probably he will dominate the boards, rebounds and points, and hopefully quite a lot of returning fantasy points. And we're closing the team with Yusupov, that he actually had quite decent games in Barcelona the last week, and he's increasingly taking more playing time in this series, so potentially with just 6.5 credits he could be an X factor for Barca.
Yeah, that's true. In Spain, you saw Willy had 2 very good games. Now maybe fall will have a good game. So this is our team. Like and subscribe our channel, guys. Let us know of your teams, your questions, your remarks that you have, and enjoy both game 5s tomorrow.
And as always, you can find us at the Real Hoopers Hub as well. Enjoy game 5 and see you next time.